It's 4 in the morning. The sky is still black. Despite the hour, a crowd has gathered. Onlookers hold their breath, tense and expectant. Young and old alike cluster around a small sandy ring. Frenzied drummers begin beating a tattoo in perfect sync. Young priests light the torches, swishing embers off into the air. South Indian sarang stand in front of a temple, staring sternly. Suddenly, a collective breath is released, and a sense of awe fills the void. The god has arrived. The theyyam can begin. Throughout history, northern Kerala is associated with myths and legends. It provides a unique insight into spirituality, intellectual life, and cultural adventures. Theyyam is a ritual art form that exemplifies these myths and legends. The word theyyam means god in Malayalam, hence theyyam is known as the dance of gods. The divine dance of theyyam has the ancient testimony of customs, traditions, and artistic creativity. It uses a mix of dance, mime, and music to bring to life Kerala's legendary stories of gods and celestial heroes. Native to the ancient kingdom of Kannur or Kolatunadu, this dance is performed in front of the village shrine and temples as a form of ancestor worship. Performers assume the form of god with an elaborate painting of face and even grander costumes. People often believe that theyyam performers often unite with gods during this dance, almost achieving a form of divinity. The theyyam performer is called kolam, and every artist portrays the hero with enormous power. Moreover, the dance is not considered for perpetuating the god or goddesses, rather, it is the dance of goddesses themselves. In theyyam, the practitioner or oracle enters a state of exalted trance in which he becomes the physical manifestation of the deity. In addition to this, it is one of those rare dance forms which elevates the members of lower caste community to the stature of god. Mostly performed by men, it is still seen as a war cry against the caste system and continues to fascinate even today. Having more than 400 forms of theyyam, the style, choreography, costumes, and facial makeup varies to the role and myth of the form. Headdress, face painting, breastplate, bracelets, garments, and fabric of each theyyam are distinct and meticulously crafted. In order to perform theyyam, all performers must possess extraordinary skills. They must know the ritual and character of every deity. They should sing, dance, and perform according to the drum in complicated dress and avatars. theyyam season begins at the end of October every year and continues till the first week of June. Around 1000 theyyams will be performed during this time in different parts of northern Kerala. The theyyam festivals are spread over 3 to 6 days. From morning onwards, different theyyams will be performed one after one, and all theyyams will conclude in the evening. The interesting part of the theyyam ritual happens at the first 20 to 30 minutes of the performance, which involves a dance in the compound known as Devasthanam. There's a lot more to theyyam than what meets the eye. When theyyam performs, time stands still. The air is heavy with devotion and the land rings with the cheer of shared joy and wonder. It's a seamless integration of traditions by people of all faith. It's a way to revive the memory of the people. Theyyam performance begins with Vellatam or Thotam. It is performed with only a small red headdress and a simple makeup without any heavy costume. Then the dancers are accompanied by drummers and they recite a particular ritual song which describes the myths and legends of how the deity of the shrine came to be honored. The complicated series of moves takes up to a decade of training to acquire. Performances are usually preceded by a period of rigorous fasting. The last stage, Mugattiruthu, is the main event when he appears in full costume in front of the shrine. Once the ritual and dance performance starts, it can go on for hours, depending on how long it takes for the artist to enter a trance as he dances and spins to the drums. Theyyam is a powerful display of dance rhythms and intense expressions. Dancers break coconuts with their head, jump on fire or walk on red hot coal and do other larger than life moves. The most fascinating theyyam are the fire theyyams. One among the five theyyam is called Ottakolam, an extension of another form of theyyam called Vishnumurti. Since the deity uses fire in his performance, there needs a lot of wood. The wood has to be arranged in a certain way, and after the arrangement, it will be lit up. The wood with the fire is then known as Melidi or fire. The theyyam starts with this. It's a belief that God reincarnates into the body of performer when he sees his own reflection in the mirror. To see the unseen, one needs a lot of imagination. Hiranyakashipu, the king of Asuras, is a demon in Hindu myth. His younger brother Hiranyaksha was killed by Vishnu during his Varaha incarnation. Enraged at this, he decided to kill Vishnu by acquiring magical powers from Brahma by performing a penance for him. At last, he succeeded in securing a boon from Brahma that he would not die on earth, or in space, or in fire, or in water, nor during the day or night, not inside or outside, and not by the hand of a human, god, animal, or any other animate or inanimate species. Hiranyakashipu is the uncle of Prahlada, the son of Hiranyaksha, who is an ardent devotee of Lord Vishnu. The Asura king, who wishes to avenge his brother's death, throws Prahlad into a fire to burn him alive. Ottakolam, the main god of the ritual, stands atop a wooden stool at the center of the room. Two young priests hold his hands, steadying him as he circles in a tight, stomping dance to the drums. The atmosphere is electric when he came before the shrine and bowed. The process had begun, shifting to another level of consciousness by being the deity. Bells and bangles clatter as he rattles his feet between the rotations. He looms over the crowd and goes to save Prahlad. Suddenly, he leaps off the stool and begins spinning in the center of the sandpit. As he spins, his costume drools over, blinding eyes with its bright shimmer and sparkle. From this point to the end, the performer is manifest and empowered. He is dancing in the arena in graceful rhythmic steps that grows quicker and more energetic as the night progresses. An enormous fire is ablaze in the temple, and as the flames dance, the rhythmic pattern of the drumming changed, becoming faster, louder, and more urgent. He gets fierce and plays with fire, ready to heal Hiranyakashipu. The shouting from the crowd sounded more purposeful, and as Ottakolam's energy grew more restless, he ran fearlessly into the fire. He leapt backwards and forwards across the flames, encouraging the onlookers to a more agitated state. Occasionally, he lurches dangerously close to the crowd, and the young priests with palm torches swing them at him to keep him in his sacred circle. Time is non-existent in the face of such captivating ritual. Hot ash and sparks flow into the air as the assistants poke and provoke the flames. The drum beats are making him more exciting to perform. The performance is so intense that we get the true intensity of the violence as the story unfolds. Here, land and life becomes one big splash of color. His assistants first run through the fire as a sign of respect. In the climax of the performance, the theyyam wearing tender coconut leaves plunges into the bonfire as an attempt to save Prahlad. His assistants swiftly pull him back before the fire gets a chance to burn his costume, and the act is repeated for 100 times, with circling the fire and jumping into the fire. He dives in and out of the fire, and finally Hiranyakashipu is killed. The fireworks display outside will culminate into the climax with deafening sound and intense luminosity. The energy of the performance that the spectators feel at the height of the event is a mesmerizing, once-in-a-lifetime experience. The expressions of the performer can seem aggressive, intense, and eerie at the same time. He jumps into the fire until he is exhausted. Finally, he dashes to the front of the temple, walking back and forth several times before finally collapsing onto a seat before the priest. Young boys fan his sweating body with towels as the old priests bring him offerings of food and rice. As he catches his breath, the crowd begins to disperse. Some move away to chat and compare photos with friends, while others move forward to whisper to the god, asking for his blessings and advice. People who watch the performance are afraid at times, but then the entire community, is also delighted to seek blessings from theyyam once the dance is over. After the performance concludes, the audience individually approaches the theyyam to get his blessings and tell him their grievances. For this day, he is the medium through whom God speaks to them. The overall effect is distinctly supernatural, and that is precisely the poem. With no socially sanctioned channels to express their injustice and pain, the folk ritual of theyyam often become the alternative for the release of collective trauma long endured by people belonging to these communities. Theyyam dance performers have serious occupational hazards also, but since the performers are trained from their childhood, they are used to a certain extent. In short, the common theme of theyyam discussed is the symbolic meaning of empowerment. The ritual thereby becomes a temporary outlet for the collective rage, anger, and resentment endured by people of the oppressed communities over the years.